Hey everybody, it is Monkeypuzzle. That is I. He is me. And I am back from vacation. I hope you missed me. Hope you didn't miss me too much though. And oh boy, let's play some Minecraft because I haven't played for about 2 weeks now, so I'm ready for it. I did do a little bit yesterday. I came on the server and updated it. And now we are in 3.2.71 of Resonant Rise 3. And I forgot to say, this is Rise of the Resonant Monkey. Episode 20-something. And my baby mammoths are all grown up. They don't stay small forever. In the blink of an eye, they have gotten huge. Look at them. My big old mammoths. So they're very cool. And here are their mamas hanging out with them, attached forever. Oh, look at them, so cute. And they act a lot like cows. They're attracted to wheat, generally, like that, and tend to like just fill your world with brown when you're holding it, and all you can see is mammoth all around you. So, and you can breed them like cows too. So, yeah, stay back. I got stuff to do here. So if you right click one and then stop it. See who's not in love yet. Let me see. Okay, how about you? And right click another. They will find each other and do the little cow thing. And any second now, there'll be a cute new little trumpeter in here somewhere. Where'd he go? Huh, did I not do it right? Did I click the same guy twice or something? Anyway, they make little baby mammoths. And it's the best thing ever. Let me see. Let me get another piece of wheat. See if there's some hanging out in here. No, my Ancient Warfare farm, by the way, is doing great. I'm attracting all the saplings with my ring of magnetization. I found Beaver, who I thought was dead and had been replaced with a rejack. They're the lumberjacks, and they're pretty essential to keeping the whole thing running. And they're the ones, for some reason, that tend to wander off. I guess they're most often don't have work and do their little wandering mode, and they get stuck somewhere. I made this line of fences right here because for some reason, they always wanted to get stuck back here. So I said, nope, you can't go that way. And things are doing great. I was hanging out here getting ready to record, and there was a blood moon, and a bunch of soldiers went and got in some fights and made some holes around, but everything's doing good. One thing that changed with the update is that the sag mill stopped giving the 2 or 3 wheat wheat flour that it was giving before, and so instead, and it was just giving seeds, which is what it had done previously. So instead, now I've got the cyclic assembler here doing just the 1 wheat for 1 wheat flour trade, which is pretty good in itself, and it's just barely keeping up. This has been right here for the most part. Maybe it's advancing slowly, which is good. Why are you freaking out for the people here? These guys, you don't need a safari net if you need to move them around. You can just go in their inventory, repack them or into their GUI, and put them down again. Anyway, I was trying to grab some wheat to... Oh, I got 1 piece. Is it too late? Darn it. I just wanted to show you that. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I got 2 pieces of wheat again. Let's try it again. How about you? And you. Where's my little baby? There it is. Eek! And that little thing will eventually go into one of these. And I had this great idea that I was going to gift CatDogPigduck with a mammoth or 2. Problem is, these are permanently owned by me and can't be undone. So maybe if he came over here and got some wheat and bred some babies, that they would be owned by him. And what that allows you to do is, with my very gentle whip here that would never hurt them, you can ride them. It's pretty funny because they're so big. All you see is a big head. If I change my view, There you go. You can see me on top of him. Whoop. And yeah, we are riding a mammoth. It's a little tricky to do from this angle. But there it is, the mammoth riding. I had dreams of riding one and having the whole herd follow me, but I'm not quite sure how to set that up. Doesn't work with the whip. I haven't tried it with the stick or the bone or the drum or anything like that yet, but perhaps it will be possible. But for now, here we go. Mammoth achievement get. All right, enough fooling around. Let's get down to business here. Woo, okay. All right, so other things to do today. Why don't we go to my ag base, the Highland ag base right here. So that would be this guy. I spent some time going around to all the enhanced portals and made sure that they all change to the right textures and colors when you activate them. It's kind of cool because then you know exactly where this is going. And then I have to come back here and keep my restoration of this fork going on. I've done a little bit of work, but I got some more to do. And I'm kind of customizing it for my own needs. Anyway. All right, so here we are. Back in. Ooh, I'm bouncing around. The Highland Ag Station. Let me take a nap on you all and turn it to daytime. All right. After a little snooze, I am ready, even more rested for you guys. So I have harvested all the trees. Last I left you, we just set up the drones to protect this place. I went ahead and took it to this next step where I made these little charging stations right here. If you go down here, we have a whole little air compressor set up, chest full of coal, keep it going for a good while, and the whole thing set up with the BuildCraft gates that have the added on. Let's see if I can turn Wayla on, and it says, it doesn't say exactly here. I'm trying to remember the name where it's augmented with the comparators basically. And so this is the gold ore gate. And if the redstone level is 8, 9, or 10, it's 8 right now, it shuts the whole thing down. And that's coming from here. So basically I'm stopping it at about 4.5 so that nothing blows up. Because I found if you try to keep it right at 5, things blow up pretty readily. And this will release pressure at 4.5. Anyway, that's probably more than you want to know about my little air compressor charging setup. But if I can get back out here, let's put the drones back. I took them down because they were running out of juice everywhere, and I had to go and rescue them all. This one is charged up. This one is a cleanup crew guy. And see, actually, one of my cleanup crew guys is missing right now, unless he's in one of these. Here he is. And so what I did, actually, this is a good time to show you, is I made some upgrades for both the charging stations and the drones. So in the charging station, you have to put a dispenser upgrade in order for it to make this a little cover on top. And that's basically a place where the drone can land and charge itself. And they know how to do that. You don't even have to include that in their programming. They just know it. And also, this is the big deal, is I had to put volume upgrades in each of the drones. And basically, every time you put one of those in there, it increases their air pressure capacity by 500 milliliters or something like that. And it just makes it longer before they run out of air pressure. And that was becoming a problem because they would go off to attack something or pick up a chicken egg over there, and they'd just run out of air pressure and get abandoned or, get stranded, and then I'd have to track them down. And they actually use quite a bit of tick rate when they are stranded like that. I guess they're in distress trying to figure out what to do, but they can't do it. So, yeah. Let me put it back. And also, each one of them got a life upgrade. At least the fighting ones got multiple life upgrades. And this is just used to help them regen. Basically, with this, they can regen life because they do take damage. So here we go. So here's our 2 cleanup guys. Hopefully, they have enough of a volume upgrade at this point that they will be cool. And they are off to go pick up some stuff. Generally, they just stay busy picking up the chicken eggs over there. And then let's grab these other three guys. So these are our little warrior, our drone defense system that were the subject of the title of the last episode. If we throw them down, they're each going to go pick up the sword out of that box right there and then go hang out and wait for bad guys to show up. And they just hang out here right over the dimensional anchor. And hopefully it's all good now. They'll charge up as they need to, and I won't lose anybody else. So this guy, he just deposited his chicken egg in the ender chest there, and they're off to go pick up some more stuff, keeping the area nice and clean. Now, I have found a way to control the butterfly population without having the drones chase them all over the place, which was kind of mean and sad, but also the drones just spent all their time chasing butterflies. I don't want to kill butterflies, of course. I love them, but they do tend to breed out of control. Apparently, in the configs, there's a cap for the breeding, but every time they go just out of range of chunk loading, those ones no longer count. So all along the fringes, hundreds of butterflies will build up and mess with your tick rate. But all you got to do is use the COFH command. Let me get cap lock off there. COFH, kill all butterfly. I'm not going to do it right now because there aren't that many. I don't have any trees up right now. But that I can do occasionally to get the butterfly population back down to 0, and then I can start over again. So yeah. Now, what these drones need next is they need speed upgrades because they're mighty slow. But to do a speed upgrade for these guys, we have to enter into new territory in PneumaticCraft. See, speed upgrade right here. If we go into there we go. The center of it now is, I think it used to be a cake or something like that, but now it's a lubricant bucket. And to get lubricant, we have to make the thermopneumatic processing plant that turns diesel into lubricant. And to get diesel, we have to make a refinery and put oil into it. Now, this is the big change in PneumaticCraft. PneumaticCraft was updated. With the update, I actually went ahead and downloaded the most recent version of PneumaticCraft and put it in the pack, just so I was working with that. If you guys use the share code, and there is a new share code now, by the way, I'm on a tangent, you'll get close enough to this. Anyway, they're replacing the plastic plants, which were kind of annoying with all their little characters, all their little quirks. And instead, it's all based on oil, and the plastic plants are being phased out. I guess too many people complained about them. But I thought they were fun. Anyway, yeah, it's oil-based right now. So you got to find oil and use the refinery. This product right here, the LPG, is actually what you go ahead and make plastic with. And I think you do that in the thermopneumatic processing plant as well. So we'll do a little of that today. First, before I get into that, I want to do a little tree breeding. I have gone ahead and set this up a little bit more. We've got white beam planks for the floor. It's kind of understated, but I'm cool with that. We got a nice door here now that we can go in and out when these player detectors detect me. And in here, I've got this guy who is a forester villager, and I got some proven grafters off of him. And let's put my whip away. And I picked up a couple more of these traveling merchants along the way, and they also sell proven grafters. So we'll see. Hopefully these last longer than the ones you can make. They do. We'll see if it's actually worth it for the emeralds and stuff. I've got a few of them in here. I've got some tree breeding set up right here. Let me get into that. Let me just get some of this other junk out of my inventory now that I'm done with that. And oh, I've got my clipboard to go through my to-do list, but we haven't even touched that yet. Oh, and this is part of the update as well. When I first got on here, I couldn't walk up blocks. This, which I'm so used to, and also which is such a handicap whenever I go back into anything where I don't have step assist, and I actually have to jump. And if I take this off, notice now, I can't do it anymore. And first I thought it was bugged, but it turns out now it requires mana. So you have to always carry a mana tablet with you. in order for your Sojourner Sash to work. And probably, I actually haven't tested if it's necessary for the ring of magnetization or not too, but I assume so. Come on, let me through here. Okay. I am all over the place today, but that's okay. I am trying to catch up with y'all with all the stuff going on here. So let's go ahead and grab this tree breeding experiment. So just to catch you up, so far, these are all the new species of trees that we have gathered from this. Hello. And next, it's time to get to some specific goals. That was kind of a whole shotgun approach where I just took a bunch of trees and bred them all together. Now we're at the point where I have to think about it a little bit better. So here we've got the hill cherry, and the hill cherry is one of my favorite ones just because it's so good looking. But I'm going to use it to get to two specific goals for this whole forestry, extra trees, extra bees thing. And one is that we want to breed them with the silver lime, and that should get us walnuts. And then from the walnuts, we'll be able to proceed to the sweet chestnuts. And the sweet chestnuts are the best source of seed oil, of which you use quite a bit making stuff. So we're going to head towards, like I said, sweet chestnuts. With this first goal will be walnuts. And then if you breed them, the hill cherries with jungle saplings, you get papayas. And papayas are the best source of juice used in the squeezer, or not the squeezer, but the fermenter, to get the biofuel that you then turn into the ethanol. So that's going to be that. We'll set up a forestry multi-block farm with these once we get them. And then since I got the hill cherry out, I was like, okay, what else can you breed the hill cherries with? And apparently the hill cherries and the alder give you something. I forget, but we can go ahead and look that up. So if I press U over that, and if we get to there should be one here with the tree breeding, right on. So the hill cherry can also give you the lemon with the silver lime, and then from there we'll be able to go to the plum, and then once we get the walnut, here we go. The hill cherry plus the silver lime gives the walnut, and then that will get us to the sweet chestnut. But the other one was with the alder. Let me find that. Most of these I don't have yet, so I can't do yet. So I'm just doing the ones that I can do so far. Here it is. I was blind. So the hill cherry plus the common alder will give us olives, and I like olives. And then since we got the common alder out here, I picked two other ones that can breed with the alder, and you just have to take my word for it that they give us something else cool, because I forget what they give us. And then since I have the beech and the larch out here, the larch plus the bullpine will give us more sequoias, and I need more sequoias because I need 9 of them before I could even grow the first one. It's a 3x3, which is pretty appropriate for coast sequoias. I actually saw a lot of those on my vacation this time. So, and it's nighttime again. It's always nighttime. But not anymore. So let me do some planting. So first I got to do my hill cherries. And I'm just going to plant them and let them grow on their own. Because, well, actually, I take that back. Be right back. Might as well do this right so you guys can see these. I love these. I know they're garish, but for some reason, I just think they're super cool. So we're going to plant these kind of centrally because they are a big part of what we're breeding right now. They're going to give us the 2 main goals, and the other ones are just kind of auxiliary. You know, the tree breeding like this is just like Pokemon. You got to collect them all. And what am I doing? I need that. So we need some jungle saplings. This is going to give us the papaya. Hello, plant. There we go. And we're getting so many flowers here. It's just out of control. And I just got to make sure that these don't get covered up. And let me remind me to talk about the hives in a second. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get the rest of these planted. And then I will be back to talk some more. All right, there we go. What are you guys after? Can't be after me. Got all those trees planted, so we'll get some nice new trees out of that. And in the meantime, the bees have just been going round and round because I've got this whole row is industrious bees now, and this whole row is all the imperial bees, and they're just automatically going round and round. And the chest looks like this, basically. They're full of drones, full of royal jelly, which is the big product, and dripping comb. And then over here, similarly, these are accumulating pollen as well as more drones and more comb. So we got plenty of pollen, plenty of royal jelly. They do better when I actually bother to put the frames in them, the impregnated frames, but they don't last all that long, and you can't automate these. And I think I'm getting plenty just letting it go round and round without them. Eventually, when we do the apiaries, which will actually maybe be next episode, if we get to genetics by then, we can then automate the frames as well. So there we go. Update on the bees and the trees so you all know what's going on. And let me go real quick over here and show you the oil. I've got these little waypoints out here. I'm just doing some old school collecting of oil, like the good old BuildCraft days, using BuildCraft, in fact. But I had to go way out on the map. Let me show you real quick. Because somehow within this whole area, all the oil had glitched out at one of the updates. All the little ones that were within the area that had already been loaded, it just disappeared. So there was no oil to be found. So I had to generate new land to do it. And I will meet you when I get out there. All right, here's the first one, your basic oil spout out at sea. And I'm glad I came here to show you guys because apparently I forgot to put a dimensional anchor on it. So let's go ahead and throw one of these down. But I've got, real basic setup here. Apparently BuildCraft has retextured a bunch of its blocks, so that's really cool. We got the pump, and, you guys stop for a minute. And the redstone engines do work for the pump again now. They didn't used to. And then I've just got an ender tank on top of it to transfer the oil. Super simple, kind of enjoying the reskinning. That's neat. And hopefully that's good enough. Go up one more just in case this is out of bounds. And there's some fun stuff over here as well. All right, we're out here in the sandstorm in the desert. And this is where I found some of the first oil. It was just in these pools right here. So I went ahead and collected all of that. We had a desert temple out here, which was pretty cool. There was oil in there. And I was just taking advantage of the chunk loader being out here and using that to grow a bunch of cactus, just so I'll never need to worry about cactus green again. Anyway. All right, so with all those harvested, I can get rid of that. And I got quite a few cacti from that I'll send back home. Hey, go back in there. And you can see a lot of stuff is happening in my ender pouch there. I've got an overworld ender quarry set up. I did tons of ender quarrying in the nether before, but now I'm back to doing it in the overworld because there's certain things I need, like the ender dust from that ender ore, whatever it's called, and other stuff too, which I'm not remembering right now. But this is pretty interesting looking right here. What happened is that I finally reached a point where the boundaries of the map broke a little bit, or a lot. When I first started this world, I pre-rendered quite a bit because this always happens. I have customized the configs for biomes of plenty because there's a lot of biomes I don't like, but I was very careful to keep the same configs along the way, along each upgrade. But you can see right here the edge where the rendering got to, and apparently it caused some striping and such. So out here, you can tell that this was trying to be a mesa, and then it's not. So it's kind of ugly, but that's kind of cool as well. Anyway, there's plenty of good new land to generate outside that line and plenty of good land inside, but we did end up getting an edge here. Oh well, this is modded Minecraft when the pack keeps updating, and then Recurrent Complex has given us this nice little scar here of this meteor that's fallen here, and then there was also a bunch of oil here in this village out here, which a couple of those guys I showed you came from, and I forget what mod this is. This is the one that gives you the little fake chests in the caves. It also gives you some tools bent on killing you. This is pretty funny. Anyway, I'll meet you back at the Highland Ag Base, and we'll set to putting this oil to use. By the way, on the way back, I came across this village, which I like particularly. It's got these witchery guards. Whoa. That actually protect the village. Go around shooting everything. I wish I knew a way to make more of these so I could make sure that all the villages stay stocked with these guys. But it's very cool to see the villagers standing up for themselves and not just being the hapless victims all the time. Get 'em! You rock! Anyway, I like this village for that. I also think it's got some interesting shapes going on, and witchery, I guess, added these nice little turrets to it. This was from BuildCraft Editions. These are power plants that you're supposed to be able to just add Stirling generators to inside. But I actually had to take BuildCraft Editions out of the pack because it was creating an item called plastic gas, which was messing up the fluid registry, which was unfortunate. But some of these are still left behind. I like BuildCraft Editions a lot, but I had to say bye-bye to it because I couldn't log in as long as it was still in the pack, so didn't keep up with the updates. But the reason I'm showing you this place is because I think this is going to be a good spot for my Thaumcraft base. Kind of be the wizard overlording over the town here. I really like some of the terrain generation here. We got this nice redwood here from Natura. I really like the shape of these trees right here. I think I'm going to take this tree down and try to grow one of those and then use that as a starting base for my Thaumcraft tower. Anyway, that will be another day. Where am I going? Over here. We're back at the lagoon or the lake around the island center there. And by the way, my plesiosaurs are doing very nicely. They're hanging out and slowly multiplying, and they seem to persist very well. So that's very cool. We're going to have to make some more dinosaurs to be part of the local area very soon. Load, world, load. And over here on Stego Island, we're down to one Stego over here hanging out with the brain slimes. Not sure what happened to the other ones. They get hungry sometimes or glitch out, but that's the breaks. Okay, back at the Highland Station. And if I can get on this block, I just move too fast nowadays. And head on down. So we've got a couple more floors here that are just skeletal right now that we can fill in and start using. But let me see, let's go all the way down. So this was the PneumaticCraft plant breeding station, but this is now going to become obsolete. And then down here in the PneumaticCraft room, you can see where I've got the oil coming in. I'd made it a little bigger than it needs to be, so I was just emptying those out. So far, let me see. Oh, they're actually filling up pretty nicely. They're not quite half full. All 7 of these barrels. There's the terminus of the ender tank system. So we got some oil going on real quick. Let's see if we can make a refinery. And we don't want the BuildCraft one. We want the PneumaticCraft one. So that doesn't look too hard at all. Just need that compressed iron in there. So there we got the refinery. And then we need the thermo-pneumatic. Yeah, I think that's what it is. The thermo-pneumatic processing plant. Not very hard either. Neither one of these are endgame items. And then eventually we'll also need the plastic mixer, is this thing, which is now what we make our plastics out of for PneumaticCraft, and we won't have to mess with seeds again. So let me play a little bit with setting this up and see if I can figure out what I'm doing. I'm assuming I'm going to need some power, not enough heat. Apply more heat by adding blocks to generate heat around this machine. No oil, of course. Not enough refineries. They need to be stacked on top of each other, ranging from 2 to 4 refineries. All right, let me do a little work and see what I can do here. All right, I have not watched any tutorials or read about it. I probably could look it up because I've got the in-game wiki right here, which I highly suggest you guys add. I just looked at it and pressed I, and it tells me a whole bunch of things that I should probably read, but I will do that later. Let's go ahead and just try this. Let's see if this satisfies the need for heat. If we just go ahead and put some lava all around it. I mean, when I think of heat producing stuff, this is what I think of as lava. And if I'm really lucky, that will be what I needed. So that should be pretty hot. Let's see what it says now if it complains. It just has no oil. That's great. The temperature's going not consistently up, but it's pretty hot. And let's go ahead and bring the oil over to it. This way, it just tapped onto, oh yeah, it's going to need the wrench for that. So just tapped onto half of the tanks over there. This one will be an insert. And this got to grab my wrenchy wrench right there. Okay, and now it should have everything it needs. Let's get that out of here so I don't do anything accidentally. Got oil. And then there's probably a way that I can configure this for making various things, but it looks like it's starting the diesel already and the LPG, which is the most basic recipe. I don't need gasoline and stuff yet because I don't know what to do with it, but I'm sure there'll be uses. I'll read that whole little thing in between episodes. But the next thing I'm going to need now is the pneumatic processing plant, because our whole goal today, remember, is just some lubricant for some speed upgrades. So we'll let this be ugly today. What does this want? No valid ingredients or room for output. Heat. It requires or produces heat. It suggests you can use a vortex tube for heat, but we'll get to that in a bit. Instead, I'm just going to place this in a way maybe that it gets some heat from some of this lava, or give it some of its own. I'll be right back. All right, I went ahead and did that. That should be plenty of heat, hopefully. And now it just needs some ingredients. So let's see how we can pump stuff from here. I don't know how we choose what we're pumping. Can this share this space? No, let's put it here maybe. And see what happens when we hook this up, what we get. So this will be an extract. And what is coming out? This would be an insert. And then let's just open this up so I can access in here. See what's going on. So we're getting the LPG, which will make plastic. But that's not exactly what I wanted. I wanted the diesel first. So I'm not sure how to get that out of here. I might need to read. We'll see. Okay, got it. The number of refineries you stack controls how many products you get. So I've got 2. That's why I got these 2 products. Next one would be kerosene. And then the next one, I believe, would be gasoline, I think. Diesel LPG, diesel kerosene LPG, diesel kerosene gasoline LPG. Okay, and then which one you pull depends on their weight. So diesel's actually down here. So to get diesel, I'd need to connect here. And then also looking at this, I realized it needs pressure. So I got to get some air pressure over here. I'm going to need to reconfigure this and build it over here, I guess. But for now, today, let's see if we can just get this working. Oh, I'm losing pressure. All right, I'm going to get this over there in a really hokey way. and we'll see if we can get some lubricant today. All right, so it turns out this was picky. The thermopneumatic processing plant was picky about which side the pressure tube came in from, so I had to move it around anyway. So I moved the whole thing over to here, closer to my pressure generating setup, and I think I've got it down now. So first, we're going to go ahead and, it's got to be careful not to go in that lava right there. We're going to go ahead and get this to extracting, and then that will start this processing as it fills with oil. We've got the two stacks, so we make the diesel and the LPG. So out of this bottom one, where's my fluid conduits? Out of this bottom one, we should be able to pull out the diesel, since it's the heavier of the two, and insert it into the thermopneumatic processing plant. So let's extract and insert, and oh yeah, we got to hook up the pressure as well. Let's just check if anything's going into here yet. Yeah, it's getting a little bit of diesel, so that's cool. And then I just need one more of these tubes, so that I was doing this at the end so I don't lose pressure. Bam, bam. Okay, now this should build up. Yep, plenty good. And we're making kerosene, which is not what I wanted. I wanted lubricant. So I got to figure out what I did wrong again. Be back. Aha, I need redstone in here. Okay, let me pull that off. Redstone we have plenty of. It's our third. It's the third highest in the amount of things we have, actually. We put some redstone in there. That's filling with diesel. But now we got to get this kerosene out of here. All right, let's see if we can pump that out. Like that. That looks blue. Like kerosene. Now that this is empty, we're still getting kerosene. What do I need to do? Perhaps you guys might have noticed this traveling merchant stuck back here. He got himself stuck. He's here because he is a PneumaticCraft villager or merchant, and he's going to help me get an assembly program and other stuff, I'm sure, with a lot less work than making it myself. So he's hanging out in his appropriate room, just like everybody else. So it turns out that it does not take pressure to make lubricant, but you got to have 1,000 milliliters of diesel, and then that is now empty. Oh, it's stuck in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and take out this and put this barrel in. And now we've got 1 bucket of lubricant. Excellent. So yeah, the trick is not to add pressure for that. And apparently plastic doesn't take pressure either. It just takes heat. So we want to make plastic. We'll just go one up here and grab the LPG, which is in there. Let's take that out. Oop, there it is. Yeah, we'll grab that and do the same thing in here, except instead of redstone, it takes coal, but that will be for another day. But let's get our 1 precious bucket of lubricant so far and go in here. And if we throw this in, now we can make a speed upgrade, which is going to be useful in all kinds of ways for all kinds of things with all the PneumaticCraft devices. So then I could go ahead and do that. Woohoo! We have achieved that. So I'll make tons more of these. Let's go ahead and just throw this one in. One of our guys. And of course, it's always night. Okay. So I could put it in the charging station. Where I lost my charging station. Over here. And everybody's off doing something. I could put it in here and they would charge faster. Hopefully everybody's okay. Let me grab my wrench and grab one of these guys. Drone hunting. Here we go. Oh, where'd you go? Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so I got that one. He was one of the cleanup dudes. So then, because it was night, I guess all my warrior drones are off fighting. So if we put this guy in here, let me see, and go into his inventory, now we can add the speed upgrade, and it should be faster. Let's see if we can notice a difference. Yeah, I guess that's a little bit more zippity compared to everybody else. And I'll just keep adding those. I guess you can add multiple speed. I forget. I'm vaguely remembering that like each one adds 10% or something like that. So if I add 10 of them, they'll be 100% faster. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure it's something like that. Anyway, that upgrade will happen in between. I'm sure this has been quite a long episode already. But hey, that should be a treat, right? After missing me for so long. Anyway, I am Monkeypuzzle still. You can see my little mana tablet attached to my stash there. Thank you, Vasky, for all those little details. Anyway, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.